And many joyriders is also because you also speak for Gilgil, which has the same problem.
Yes.
So I think,
want to speak for Gilgil, Honorable Speaker. We must split. We
I
must
think Honorable Owen
monopolize KPLC.
I think Honorable Owen has actually concluded it. Energy Committee, this statement is not up to standard. Can you commit to do better than you have done? Especially, specifically on Maralal, before you bring the global issue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I actually undertake to go back to my committee and discuss this matter further. But Honorable Speaker, allow me to add this. I have one member who is present. This issue of power and the way Honorable Undo has pointed out, I also come from Busia County. We are equally affected. And the issue that the Honorable Insula raised is the issue of the substation that the ministry is saying that they are constructing, and the Honorable Insula is saying the construction is endless. Honorable Speaker, perhaps I may urge this House, because if we can allocate more resources to this particular energy ministry so that we can have more substation, because this is an issue as a committee we had with the minister, and the only response they had was that they don't have resources to build enough substation in the country. On the issue of liberalization of Kenya Power, I support the sentiment by the Deputy Majority Leader. That one is a debate that we are having in the committee, and very soon we'll bring something to the floor of the House so that we can open up the energy sector. On the issue that was raised by Honorable Senei, I think, let me clarify, on the issue of compensation on the constant outages. It's not that we are talking about people affected maybe by the destruction of their property by the cost through the outage. We are saying that those power blackouts, if their business person was supposed to do business and there's no power within 24 hours or 12 hours, it becomes very difficult for Kenya Power, for sure, to compensate the entire the business community in the entire country. But all the sentiments raised will go back as a committee, look at them, and come back in a better response. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
What time? Specifically to
give us when we after recess.
Question. Yes?
Give us after recess, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Naisula.
Speaker, I was going to propose something different, and it will be to your discretion. Looking at the interest that members have on this matter from their areas, Madam Speaker, we should not leave it to the committee. We should engage the CS on this particular matter so that they can answer us, so that instead of blaming Honorable the Chair or Mulanya, we should actually have them come here and answer the questions, because you can see the interest is a lot from different parts of the country. But thank you for your direction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we will give the committee a chance to bring that next week, first of all. But I think the chair can still make interventions, even without coming to the floor, to sort out the immediate problem in Maralal. Honorable Mulanya, good. Thank you. Honorable members, before we go to, we get out of this order, I will indulge Honorable Mwenje. You are not here. You are not here when we had the request for statements, so you will take your take on your statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Apologies, I wasn't there on time. The statement was being finalized at the time I was called out. Honorable Speaker, this is a request for a statement regarding resource deployment strategy in new administrative units in Nairobi County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee, Education, regarding resource deployment strategy in newly formed administrative units in Nairobi County. Honorable Speaker, in November 2024, the government established new administrative units within Nairobi County, including some in Embakasi West Sub-County. These demarcations fundamentally alter the administrative landscape for service delivery, including provision of critical education services. The effective and equitable provision of education, encompassing teacher allocation, infrastructure development, and distribution of learning materials, is intrinsically linked to these administrative boundaries and the demographic realities within them. Failure to create an effective deployment strategy may lead to uneven distribution of educational resources, potential strain on existing facilities in some areas, and inadequate service provision in others, ultimately impacting the quality of education for our children in Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, a comprehensive report on the steps taken by the government to provide adequate resource deployment strategies, including allocation of teachers, school infrastructure development and distribution of learning materials to public schools within the newly established administrative units in Nairobi, especially in Embakasi West sub-county. And 2, specific measures and timelines that the government is putting in place to ensure educational resources are equitably and adequately distributed to serve the needs of the population within these new administrative units. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That will go to the Committee on National Administration? No, Education, actually. Okay. Honorable Gisairo.
We should be able to respond immediately. We resume from recess on that first week.
It is well. That will be good time, Honorable Mwenje, unless you are disputing.
Speaker, in fact, I'd hope the member for Embakasi South, who is affected by this issue, should be supporting me standing next to you. Honorable Speaker, if we can get assurance from the department, from the Honorable Gisario, that they will not recruit new teachers or do anything new until we get a response. Otherwise, we are the people who stand to suffer because we have new sub-counties and we are still being treated as though we are just one sub-county. This Embakasi West, Embakasi East, Embakasi North, Central, we've all been grouped into one, and that means we are unfairly treated because nobody is recognizing that things have changed.
You are debating the statement. Honorable Mawathe, unless you are adding anything more useful to add to Honorable Mwenje.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's important that this committee of education really deals in devils into that, because there is need. There is no way you can have four sub-counties, 3 of which are the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th largest in population in the country, lumped together. And when the issues of recruitment of teachers comes about, then you find you are given as one sub-county to recruit 8 teachers. So it's important that,
Thank you.
that the Energy Committee handles that.
So immediately after we resume from recess, I know there are members who are waiting on Abudonya with pending statements.
Madam Speaker, not pending statement, but answers to my statements. I have 3 statements which have not received a response for like 2 months. One from the Chair, Agriculture, Treasury, and Ministry of
Pending one, hold on. But there is a pending statement from Honorable Donya in the Trade Committee. If it's not there, Owen, Honorable Owen, the Committee of Trade has a pending statement for Honorable Donya for quite some time.
Okay. I'll advise the chair, Shinali, Marianne, oh, she's not here too. So I'll advise the chair, Honorable Speaker, so that we have the statement the first week after recess. But we also have next week.
You have a whole of next week and Tuesday on
so
20th.
I want to request
next week
that the matter be put for next week, Tuesday.
Yes.
So that she can get a statement so the people of Kisii can be very,
very well.
happy.
Thank you. Honorable Sanei.
Madam Speaker, I made a request to the Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the disappearance of one Hussein Abdulrahman Mohammed on 8th July 2025, a former Assistant County Commissioner and currently the Huduma Center Manager for Wajir County. He is missing for 30 days, Madam Speaker. The committee promised to give a statement, a response, today, Thursday, and it did not appear on the order paper. Missing people and their families are entitled to safety and protection, Madam Speaker. Their families have a right to be responded to and to be informed on the fate of their missing loved ones, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, even in cases of forced disappearances where Kenya has ratified an international convention, just in case it is there is an obligation on the government. Madam Speaker, we are speaking for the sovereign, the owners of the country, the citizens. When a sovereign is missing for 30 days, more so a civil servant, we only enjoy delegated power, and the national executive enjoys that delegated powers on behalf of...
Thank you. Let us hear from the committee first, why it hasn't come. Committee on National Administration, member. If no member, Deputy Leader of Majority.
Well, Speaker, the Honorable Tongo, who is the chair, is a very diligent member. There must be a good reason why he's not here, Honorable Speaker. So I want to plead with you, you allow us until Tuesday next week, so that the statement, I'll talk to Tongo myself to get this response done. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Sane.
With humility, I respect the Deputy Leader of Majority's response. But, Madam Speaker, these are matters touching the sanctity of life, of Kenyans, a civil servant, a former Assistant County Commissioner, a father. We can't postpone such issues and handle it casually like that. We have an obligation as a government. Kenyans can't just disappear. If we can't account for a civil servant, the manager of a Huduma Center, you can imagine of a common pastoralist who is in the wilderness all over in northern Kenya.
Honorable Sane, any missing person is one too many. Regardless of your stature.
I agree.
Regardless of where you come from, we all have a right to life and a right to live wherever we would want to live. So, Honorable Owen Bayer, my suggestion would be the CS of Interior is coming next week. Can this be an addendum to his response? I direct that it should be an addendum so that we fast track it.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker, that I will also direct that it be put in the...
You are directed, so
yes, I am so
kindly
directed,
execute.
And I will
kindly execute. Thank you.
My staff, please, wherever you are and you are hearing this direction, please make sure it is
you
part of the
cannot
question.
use this floor to direct your staff, Honorable Owen. Honorable members, Honorable Member Fortetu, are you on this one? I see you raising your hand. And I don't know why you're raising your hand.
Madam Speaker, I don't know which other way to get your attention.
It is here.
I've been trying
on intervention.
to do that. I've been trying to do that on the last two issues that have been raised. But now that I have your attention.
Member Fortetu, I don't have you on intervention. Point of order is an intervention. Thank you. Continue though.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also have two statements that have been pending in this House for a long time. One from the Departmental Committee for the one that deals with matters interior and the one that deals with matters labor. Again, it's been pending for a long time, Madam Speaker. I don't know what is the method for getting a response after the Speaker directs after 2 weeks and you come and you don't hear any response.
Interior and
labor. One was about Nyayo T-zone workers who are not paid for a very long time. The other one was resettlement of people who are evicted from Tosha Forest in Tetu. And they were supposed to be resettled together with the other IDPs, but there's a list of 500 people who were not resettled, and I've been following those matters. And Madam Speaker, these are very old matters in this House. Some of them have been raised by my predecessors, and they have never been resolved. So I don't know whether I'm going to face the same fate or you can intervene. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think, Honorable Owen, you have quite some task. Honorable Tongoyo has a lot of pending statement. And then the other one is labor. I don't see Chonga. So you still have some duty to take up.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I will discharge my duties by calling and talking to the Honorable Ken Chonga so that he brings a statement next week. And also, I'll also remind the Honorable Tongoyo. I think the issues of IDPs should not be an issue that we're discussing this time and age. The IDP phenomenon came in 2007 until today. Why should Kenyans be suffering? This is something that we need to put our foot down, not just as member for Tetu, but as Parliament. It should be hope on us that actually we finish this, settle all IDPs, and funds were put in budgets, consequent budgets, to settle IDPs in this country. I don't know what happened to those funds, but I think Honorable Tongoyo will give us a response. So, Honorable...
next week?
The people of Tetu, yes.
Next week?
Yes, the people of Tetu will have a response.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Njeri, finally.
Thank you for your indulgence, Honorable Speaker. I'll be very restrained because I do intend to seek a formal statement in regard to this. This is a matter that has come up and is unfolding as we speak. I'm informed that Clement Kioi, a 24-year-old who collapsed while playing football at Kutus with fellow young people, was rushed to Kutus dispensary but was denied treatment on the allegation that he had not registered for SHA. Unfortunately, the fellow youths tried to rush him to a private medical facility, but he succumbed on the way to the facility. Honorable Speaker, we were discussing Kara here yesterday, and as county governments are demanding for further allocations, we do know that healthcare is now devolved. They should not be failing the people of Kirinyaga County. As I pass my condolences to the family and urge the residents of Kutus and by large Kirinyaga County to be restrained and calm, we also must have a thorough investigation, and the person responsible for denying Clement access to urgent medical attention must be held culpable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have indulged you, but you know that statement is not filed. So if you want to follow the procedure, do the right thing. Honorable members, let us go to the next order.
Order number 12, motion, consideration of nominees to 5 National Government Constituency Development Fund committees.
Before we get to move that motion, allow me to recognize again or note that we have some schools in the galleries, public gallery, Kabutei Secondary School from Tinderet constituency, Nandi County, and we also have Nyakiambi Secondary School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County. Join me in welcoming them to the House to observe the proceedings of this House. This is meant to be moved by the Chairperson Committee on National Development Constituencies, National Government Constituency Development Fund. I am in receipt of a communication that it has been delegated to Honorable Clive Gisairo to move.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Committee on National Government Constituency Development Fund laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th August 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and paragraph 5, 2, and 10 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Regulations 2016, approves the list of nominees for appointment to the following 5 constituencies, committees of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. Number 1, Isiolo South Constituency. Number 2, Lunga Constituency, 1 member, which was an amendment. Number 3, Kuria West Constituency. Number 4, 1 member, Homa Bay Town constituency also was an amendment, and Kitui South constituency. Honorable Speaker, it is important that we have all these committees in place because we're in a new financial year. And as we expect Treasury to start releasing the funds for this financial year, going by the fact that the motion for the ceilings was tabled yesterday and adopted by this House, we expect that each constituency to have all their CDFCs adopted by this House, approved by this House, and gazetted to ensure that service delivery to the people in all constituencies in Kenya is done in a timely manner to ensure that as we abide by the law, which says that all projects need to be completed by 30th June 2026, that no constituency remains behind. It's my hope that this House will adopt this list and approve the same to ensure that they are properly in place and the gazettement takes place soon as possible. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, and I would like Honorable Toroitich, Member of Parliament, Marakwet West, to second.
Honorable Timothy.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I therefore propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Committee on National Government Constituencies Development Fund laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th August 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and paragraphs 5, 2, and 10 of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Regulations 2016, approves the list of nominees for appointment to the following 5 constituencies committees of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. Isiolo, we have Isiolo South constituency. We have Lunga Lunga constituency, Kuria West constituency, and Homa Bay constituency, Homa Bay Town constituency, and Kitui South constituency. And the names are as in the order paper. Honorable Owen.
Honorable Speaker, it's very important, Honorable Speaker, that the CDFC committees are in place to ensure implementation of the projects as approved and funds disbursed. But also, Honorable Speaker, I want to note with pleasure that for the first time we have all the money that is owed to CDFCs given, all of it, including the balance from previous year. I think we need to commend the chief at Treasury, the Honorable John Badi, for a good job, and the Treasury people for a good job. I think for the first time we have all the money coming. And I think I also want to commend the chairperson, Honorable Sirma, and the young Clive Gesairo. I think you'll make a good leader as you progress in your second term. The people of your constituency should consider you for a second term because you're doing a commendable job. And one day you'll also become a majority leader. And I pray for you, for the good job you're doing for CDF. But also I want to underscore the importance of CDF in our constituency. I have seen and are perturbed, actually, that when we approved the amendment to the Constitution, that there are people who are actually going to court to block the putting of the CDF in the Constitution, Honorable Speaker. I think if there is a fund, in this country that works, that even my good friend Dr. Makalu Muli agrees with me, if there's a fund, and when he becomes governor of Kitui, if he becomes, he will not go there and turn around and fight CDF and take CDF to court. Because CDF has actually shown that we can transform this country. The education sector in this country has been transformed through CDF. If there was no CDF, Honorable Speaker, the people of my constituency would not be having schools. If there was no CDF, Honorable Speaker, there would not be a chief's office in my constituency, Honorable Speaker. So as we approve these names and push for the entrenchment of CDF in the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, we want to thank the people who are behind that force. And we want to thank the people in that parliament, I don't know whether it's the 7th parliament or which parliament, that actually gave birth to the idea of CDF. Honorable Speaker, I support Honorable Clive and the report he has presented and request that these names be gazetted as fast as possible so that these members can start their work to implement the projects that have been proposed. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. And
Very well. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to support the names for the board members. And it's important that Kenyans know that these are the people who actually are in charge of NGCDF. And it's not the honorable members of parliament. Honorable members of parliament are just patrons. So these are the people who go through the proposals. These are the people who conduct public participation to identify what is to be funded. And these are the people who release the money to the project management committees for implementation. These are the people who also follow up and make sure that whatever has been planned to be implemented is implemented. And these are the same people who also hand over the projects to the community members once they are completed. So it is important that all the constituencies have this board in place. And that's why I'm so happy when I hear 5 now additional boards have been are going to be approved by the House so that they can be gazetted. But as majority leader said, Honorable Speaker, it is important, and we have said it many times, if there is a development model which works in this country, it is NGCDF. The approach to development through this NGCDF, Honorable Speaker, has been assessed not only by us, but by external evaluators, that it is the best model to implement. How I wish, instead of saying we do away with the CDF, we would be saying this model should be adopted by the county governments, and if possible, the model should also be adopted by the national government when it comes to development projects implementation, because that will help the country. But you see what is happening, Honorable Speaker, there is a lot of undercurrents in matters NGCDF. Some people think that this money is pocket money for members of parliament. Far from the truth. The truth is, this is one of the programs which has touched the lives of Kenyans, more so through the education sector and the security sector. And of late, Honorable Speaker, the environmental sector, where a lot of resources have now been pumped to the environment so that we try to mitigate the issues of climate change. So, Honorable Speaker, I support, and I want to urge everyone in this country to ensure that even members of parliament are not going to be part of the NGCDF, that NGCDF remains, because it is of huge benefit to Kenyans. I do support.
Mwangi from Teto, are you on this? No. Bowen Kangogo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support that motion. And Madam Speaker, it is important the 5 constituencies, they have their committees in place. Because the Honorable Speaker, the CDF committees are very important. especially in running out those programs in the constituencies. And Madam Speaker, given that now we are beginning a new financial year, and we have a lot of faith, like the Honorable Leader of Majority has said that we have a lot of faith with the Honorable John Badi that is going to disburse the money very soon. It is important that we have these officers in place, because it is through those CDFC's committee, Honorable Speaker, that the bursaries we give to our students in colleges, in secondary schools, and even in universities, those committees are the ones who normally sit down and vet those who qualify those bursaries. Madam Speaker, it is important also to know that the Treasury, and also with the introduction of the electronic procurement system, it is good we have these individuals get into their offices very fast, because I know in many of our constituencies also, they are being trained on EGP. So as soon as we approve these names, Honorable Speaker, they will also enable them to be onboarded into the e-procurement trainings, and for them to be able to execute their work in their constituencies. Madam Speaker, I don't want to say what my honorable colleagues have said about what the CDF has done in our constituencies. And even as we push to have the CDF entrenched in our constitution, Madam Speaker, it is the only money which is devolved to the crown, and every structure you see now, even in a county, in every 5 structures you see in a county, almost close to 4 or 3 are CDF projects. So, Madam Speaker, as a house, we need to protect CDF by all means, because CDF doesn't benefit members of parliament, the CDF doesn't benefit the national government, the CDF benefits the local wananchi. Many Madam Speaker, individuals, young people who may not have managed to go to school have been supported by CDF. Some they have been supported by CDF throughout their secondary school, even to the universities. And now they are professionals in this country in one way or another. So, Madam Speaker, with those many remarks, I want to support that we approve these names so that they can go down straight to their constituencies and start work immediately. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Nyenze, are you on this?
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to say that on the onset I support this motion on consideration for nominees to these 5 NGCDF funds. These are very important committees because actually they are the ones who are in charge of the fund. The fund's accounts manager is the accounting officer. Together with these committees, they come up with the proposals of the projects to be done. They are the ones who are in charge of training the PMCs, that is the project management committees. They are the ones actually who are in charge of this fund as a whole. So having these constituencies not having the committees, then is a disadvantage to them. I can see that some of them are just maybe replacing them, and therefore I actually support to say that I approve this list and say that it's really very important. NGCDF has done wonders in our country. It has brought a lot of changes, a lot of development, especially on the infrastructure. In terms of education, The bursary has assisted a lot. Families who could not take their children to secondary schools are now able to educate their children through the bursaries from NGCDF. And also, there are so many students who have gone through universities who could not actually be educated because of a lack of school fees. But this fund has brought a lot of transformation in our country. And therefore, I approve this and also say that members of parliament went through public participation, and people on the ground, Kenyans, actually approved and said that NGCDF should continue. So whoever is taking NGCDF, again, after public participation to court, this one is uncalled for, and Kenyans, I'm sure, are not with them. So with those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I support these nominees. Thank you.
Very well. I don't see more interest. Honorable Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kusema pia Mheshimiwa Spika, NGCDF imesaidia sana, na kama vile Wakenya waliweza kutoa amri wakasema iendelee, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, nakumbuka wakati zetu tukisoma kule nyuma, wakati ambapo ilikuwa basari iko mahali moja, Mheshimiwa Spika, ilikuwa hatuna mtu wa kutufikia huku juu ndo tuweze kupata. Kwa hiyo tulisoma kwa shida, wazazi wetu wakauza maamri, wakachomeka na moto, kuweza kuona kama sisi tunakaa darasani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na wakati mwingine ilikuwa tunafukuzwa. Wakati moja nakumbuka nilikaa chini ya desk kwa sababu baba hana pesa, mama hana chochote, baba ni mgonjwa na mwalimu amenifukuza shuleni. Nikaona nikienda nyumbani baba akiniona pressure yake itazidi kupanda. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nilikaa chini ya desk nikisomea hapo mpaka siku moja sister, ilikuwa sisi shule yetu ni ya Catholic, tulikuwa tuna principal wetu anaitwa Sister Helen Kian mzungu, akawa anatafuta chini ya miguu kuangalia nani hajavaa socks, na mimi niko huko sasa nimejificha, sina school fees na lazima tu nikae darasani. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka kusema wazazi wengi katika Kenya hii walifuatia shida nyingi sana kabla hizi basara hazijakuja kwa wabunge, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mbunge anawakilisha kule chini kabisa mashinani. Yeye ndio yuko karibu na mwananchi, yeye ndio anajua matatizo ya wananchi. Kwa hiyo vile wanavyopeleka hii na inasaidia, mimi napenda kusupport na niseme waache kutatiza. Na hata ngafu hii yetu Mheshimiwa Spika, na unaona sasa hii wengine watu wapigwa madongo kila mahali, imekuwa mama county sasa. Kazi ambayo anafanya watu wanauliza hii ilikuwa wapi siku zote? Manake tunafika mashinani, tunatoa empowerment, kina mama wanang'ara na biashara, vijana wanang'ara na empowerment. Yani mambo yanaenda mazuri. Wengine tunajenga GBV center ambayo kwamba muda mrefu pia haikuweza kujulikana kuwa sehemu fulani, na matatizo weze kuwekewa sehemu kama hizo. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka kusema hizi fedha ama funds za NGCDF na ngafu watu waache kututatiza, manake sisi tunataka tu huduma ifike chini. Magavana wafanye kazi yao, maseneta nao wafanye kazi yao, manake kule seneta sasa imekuwa hao ndo wanakuwa wanasulubu wa Kenya. Wakenya wakizungumza hivi, ikipita bunge ikienda kule wanazungusha upande huu. Sisi tunasema hatuna vita na masenators, kila mmoja angalie kazi yake na kila mmoja aeke ile matakwa ya wananchi katika moyo wake. Manake hata hao magavana tukiwapa pia tunajua kazi yao wanafanya kazi gani. Waangalie hospitali, waangalie barabara, waangalie ECD schools, wana mambo mengi ya kuangalia sana ndani ya county. Waangalie mambo ya afya, afya inadorora, waangalie huko. Haya mambo mengine ya kuingilia mbunge waachane nayo, manake Kenya muda wote tumekuwa kwa amani, tumekaa kwa vizuri, isipokuwa haya mambo ambayo yanatokea sasa hivi sijui nani anasukuma. Lakini mimi nasema tu shetani atashindwa na Wakenya watashinda, kwa sababu hawa watoto wamekaa hapa juu bila kupata basari ya kusoma ama bila kupewa mwelekeo wa elimu. Hawa watoto leo wasingekuwa hapa, Mheshimiwa Spika, na hii kazi yote inafanywa na hawa wabunge ambao wako hapa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kina mama kule muuza mboga, usijui muuza simsimu, wote unapata wameleta checks zao Na ndio maana unaona hata ishajulikana kuwa hii ndio kitu inashika wananchi. Unaona kila mahali empowerment, utapata wamama wamekuja wengi, wanafuata vile wanaweza kusaidika kule mashinani. Kwa hiyo mimi nasema kila mmoja angalie sehemu yake, na wabunge waachiwe NGCDF wafanye kazi yao, kina mama county tuachiwe ngafu yetu. Kwanza isitoshe ni kidogo sana, hata tuongezewe, manake hii imeshika kila mahali. Kina mama county 47 ni 4 billion peke yake, lakini unapata kuna mtu mahali tu nasikia kiwaru tu inamuuma, inamsokonyoa tu, kwa nini anapewa, kwa nini wanafanya hivi, kwa nini nawasongeza. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nasema tuachwe na fansi zetu. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Mheshimiwa Zamzam, sijajua kiwaru kama ni lugha ya bunge.
Mheshimiwa Spika, wanasokonyoka, wanakulika ndani ya moyo. Yaani inawauma kuona sisi tukifanya kazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, ndio kiwaru. Asante sana.
Before I give ukiweza kupeleka iwe kikiviazi haikui sawa. Maanake inapotea. All right, honorable members, before I give the mover to reply, allow me to recognize again in the public gallery, we have Blessed Alamano School from Likoni constituency, Mombasa County. And in the speakers gallery, we have Golden Elite School from Kisumu Central in Kisumu County. I join all of you and I join members to welcome all these children and all these learners to observe the proceedings of the House. Mheshimiwa Zamzam, bado hujamalizana? Umeshaguza watoto wako? Haya, dakika moja.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuchukua fursa hii niweze kuwakaribisha watoto wangu ambao wanasoma katika shule ya kutoka Likoni. Mimi ni mama county wenu. Nataka niwaambie elimu ndio msingi wa maisha. Asikusumbue mtu, asikudanganye mtu, kama tunavyosema nyumbani, don't touch hapa kwangu, wapi hapo, hapa kwangu. And we show hizo sehemu zote, kwa sababu ukikubali ushikwe hapo utaacha masomo, utapotea njia, hautakuwa hapa bungeni kama mama county. Kwa hiyo mimi nawaomba someni kwa bidii. Kama kuna matatizo yote ambayo mnayo, ofisi ya mama yenu iko wazi. Walimu ambao mmekuja hapa na wanafunzi, mimi nawapa nguvu sana na niwapongeze sana walimu kwa kazi nzuri ambao mnafanya. Kama si nyinyi leo, pia sisi wabunge tusingekuwa leo hapa bungeni. Kwa knowledge na elimu ambao mmetupatia leo, sisi wabunge tuko hapa tunapigania matakwa yenu ya kule mashinani. Kwa hiyo wanafunzi, kesho kuta nataka kuona mama county ama MP ametoka katika hii timu ambayo imekuja hapa leo kuangalia vile tunavyoendeleza bunge. Asanteni sana na Mungu awaregeshe nyumbani salama.
Aya, yametosha basi. Aya, Mheshimiwa Gisairo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think taking into consideration the great contributions by all the members in this House on the importance and significance of NGCDF, it is important. However, I would like to just take a shot on our majority leader, Owen Bayer. I heard him say that 100% of the funds have been disbursed. Honorable Owen, you know, we are in a different financial year. We cannot be talking about the last financial year. We need to be proactive. Actually, we need to start knowing why Treasury is late in disbursing the first quarter funds for this financial year. As per the Act, actually, the money is supposed to be sent in the first month, that is July, because the committees do not pay for the work after, right? The money has to be there for the committees to start working. So for this financial year, we are actually currently running behind schedule. And we would like to request that Treasury, as we do our part as Parliament, they also do their part in a timely manner so that we move this country forward together. Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply, but Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 53.3, I beg we defer putting the question.
Very well, we shall defer the putting of the question the next available time. Next order.
Order number 13, motion, consideration of Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022.
Honorable Simon Kingara, member for Ruiru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to move the following motion that the Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022 be now considered. Madam Speaker, we have been following on this bill here in the National Assembly. It went to Senate. It has come back to us with an amendment. And Madam Speaker, I'm in agreement with the amendment because actually the amendment is enforcing of gazettement of what is in the clause 3 of the bill, whereby the Senate proposes that the registration be gazetted, and it is in order, noting that we are dealing with public land, because the matter is touching public land. It is important when you touch public land, the general public should be notified. And one of the ways of notifying the public is going to the gazettement, whereby through gazettement and the timing of the gazettement, we can use it as a relevance when we did a legislation, Madam Speaker. Noting that people might maybe disagree with the registration, and when you have pulled and pushed the matter all the way to gazettement, it shows that it has followed the due process of making an amendment through the National Assembly and Senate. And actually, noting that also there is an agreement, Madam Speaker, between the two parliaments, giving respect that we are in a bicameral parliamentary, whereby we have to agree one matter must be agreeable in both houses. This matter has been agreed in both houses. I, as the owner of the amendment, am in agreement with the amendment, and so I request that this process be completed, and I ask Honorable Gitari, Kirinyaga Central, to second. Thank you.
Honorable Gitari. Move. Did you move, Honorable?
Yeah, I move. I request that I move the amendment.
Very well. Honorable Gitari.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support the amendment by Mheshimiwa Kingara. Honorable Speaker, this is a bill that tries to, when we are doing subdivisions in pieces of land, when we are preparing the master plans, there are public utilities. And those public utilities, what Honorable Kingara is trying to do is to say, when you are doing the other titles, all the titles for public utilities should be produced at the same time. The import of this, Madam Speaker, is that we solve the problem of a public utility, maybe it was a school, a nursery school, or any other utility. Madam Speaker, even after, if it's a school, Madam Speaker, when it is done, the title goes to PS Treasury. So I support, and it is very timely, and congratulations, Honorable Kingara.
You are to second.
I second.
Very well. Honorable members, I therefore propose a question that the Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022, be now considered. Before I indulge members, allow me to recognize in the public gallery Aremi School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County, Tumaini School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County. I take this opportunity to welcome them to the House to observe the proceedings. If you intend to speak on this, use the intervention. Honorable Owen.
Yeah, I want to join the Honorable Kingara and congratulate him for his work around the issue of public land. Honorable Speaker, I want to inform you that the Honorable Kingara and I in the 12th Parliament served together in the Committee on Lands. And in that committee, I saw his diligence, I saw his ability and his passion for actually protecting public land. And this piece of legislation that is bringing forth, Honorable Speaker, is about protecting public land. As you're aware, Honorable Speaker, we have lost a lot of public land to unscrupulous land grabbers, Honorable Speaker. People who are just eyeing public land. The only way to do that is to ensure that those titles of those public lands are issued at the same time when other titles are issued. You know, Honorable Speaker, the problem has been everybody else gets a piece of his paper, the title, but the public land title is not issued at that time. And therefore, it becomes vulnerable for people to actually... Honorable Speaker, you go to a settlement scheme, a big settlement scheme where everybody else has a title. The school in that scheme was given the land at the same time as the other people. But the title for that public school has not been issued. Or the title for that hospital has not been issued, Honorable Speaker. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, we have run into the danger where every time titles are for public institutions are not given, and therefore people take advantage and actually steal those public lands, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, many of the schools that we have in this country do not have titles, and yet the neighbors have titles. And you ask yourself, so what happened? Because somebody actually issued the neighbors with the titles, but refused to issue the school with a title. But we are saying, Honorable Speaker, henceforth, when we pass this bill and it is assented, all public land must be issued with titles at the same time as others, so that, Honorable Speaker, the amendment from the Senate, which I agree with, and which the Honorable Kingara agrees with, is that it be immediately gazetted. Be gazetted that this is public land, this is a police station, this is a hospital, so that nobody comes to overturn that decision at any other time. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I support the Senate amendment, and it has contributed to good legislation. And Honorable Speaker, I said this is the spirit. The spirit is, if we pass law here that touches on matters that are at the level of the Senate, Honorable Speaker, if it goes to the Senate, we don't have to always come to mediation or cantankerous laws, Honorable Speaker, laws that, you know, and we seem to be fighting, Honorable Speaker. This is the House of Parliament. And when we pass a law that the Senate approves, looks at and improves in its content and its form, Honorable Speaker, we have no issue. We agree. And I think that is the spirit of the bicameral Parliament. And therefore, Honorable Kingara, I thank you, and I want to tell the people of Ruiru they have a good legislator in you, and they have no reason not to give you a third term to continue the good work that you're doing. I thank you.
Honorable Jane Kihara, are you on this one? Give her the microphone.
I'm here. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I also rise to support the amendment by the Senate. I served with Honorable Kingara in the Lands Committee, and I know he has been at this for the longest. Madam Speaker, as we talk now, there is a land of my Mahiu Girls Secondary School. Everybody in the neighborhood knows that that land was for the school. But somebody has gone to lands, he has gotten a title, so now the school is fighting over that land. Suppose that title was given when the subdivision was being made or when the school was going to get that title. So this is very, very important. We have seen even the land buying companies, when they leave public facilities, eventually the same directors, because they know where they left these pieces of land, they go back and subdivide them or grab them. So this is a good law, and I support it, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very well. Honorable Makali.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to appreciate Honorable Kingara for this important legislation. But I'm just wondering, Honorable Speaker, whether it has not come too late in the day. Because, Honorable Speaker, you were to document public land which has been grabbed, starting from schools, road reserves, hospitals, public beaches. The list will be endless, Honorable Speaker. I know it is not possible, those who are legal minds, I know it's not possible to apply some law retrogressively, that is going backwards. But I think, Honorable Speaker, we need to come up with a mechanism to ensure that anybody who has grabbed public land, because if you go to the original maps, and we have surveyors here, if you go to the original maps, you'll be able to know originally this land was set aside for what. And even most of our estates, Honorable Speaker, you realize that land set aside for our children to play has already been grabbed. Land set aside for police posts has already been grabbed. Land set aside for health centers has already been grabbed. So you have a whole estate and you can't have any place you can put a public facility like a health center, Honorable Speaker. So even as I support, I think as a house, we need to take up the challenge and ask ourselves, is it possible that we go back and look at where the rain started beating us so that we are able to recover this land? Because so long as land was grabbed, Honorable Speaker, even if it was done 40 years ago, it still remains for public land. If we were to go that direction, we'll have so much land for our public utilities that there will be no need to start buying. Honorable Speaker, at times I get so much annoyed. I feel bad as a Kenyan that you see land which was originally public land, the government coming up later and buying the same land from a, you know, it doesn't make sense at all. If you follow the story of the NSSF, Honorable Speaker, the history of the NSSF, once upon a time in this country, NSSF was buying land which actually used to belong to the government. It is awarded to a majority leader. For example, I'm giving an example. People don't, let Kenyans not mistake. It's given to Honorable Mbaya, and within 1 year or two, Honorable Mbaya comes with a title, indicate that land is private, and he sells to the same government. This is craziness, Honorable Speaker. And that's why we are saying, I think this law, we need to support it, but even after becoming an act of parliament, I don't know whether we need to set a special committee to look at these matters, although I'm sure it is going to be a very hot potato, but this is the way I would want us to go, that if you grabbed public land at any point in the history of Kenya, let the land go back to the public so that Kenya can sell some of this land and make money. We can actually sell this land to individuals and then pay our public debt. We'll be helping this country. And I'm sure you can pay our public debt if we are to recover all the land and sell to private individuals or private companies, Honorable Speaker. With those many remarks, I support.
Very well. Before I come to Honorable Kingara, I'll indulge you, member for Molo. You have had very many students come today, so I'll give you 1 minute.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your indulgence. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome to the National Assembly the future engineers, future lawyers, future members of parliament, future presidents, future doctors. And these are the great students of Aremi Primary School, Nyakembe Secondary School, and Matumaini Primary School to observe the proceedings of this House. Honorable Speaker, I've always taken it as a habit when I visit these schools to invite them, especially the uppermost class, to come and observe the proceedings of Parliament, to come and see that there is life outside Molo. Because one of the things that we have to really do and grow as a people is if we encourage integration, we encourage people to work and live in different parts of this country and to realize that there is a lot of opportunities out here. So thank you for your indulgence. I'd like to welcome the students to observe the proceeding of this House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Honorable Kingara. Hold on. Honorable Njeri, are you on this one or it's the former one that you had done? Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to commend the Honorable Member Kingara for this amendment. I believe it is timely that when developers are constructing any or maybe coming up with future plans, they also ensure they encompass and think about the public utilities and amenities that will be needed by the public. Further to that, Honorable Speaker, we do need to have a serious national conversation with the Ministry of Lands in regard to titleage of public land, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, we know that there's various parcels of public land that are in contention in regard to where the title deed is, who owns the title deed, and also private encroachment on public land. In Kirinyaga County, for example, Ngiriambu Primary School land has been encroached by private individuals. And this is a government institution that has been in existence for many years. So we need to resolve these matters, Honorable Speaker, so that our future is safeguarded. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Kingara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. But pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 53.3, Madam Speaker, I request deferment of putting of the question on this motion.
It is assented to, and honorable members, order number 14 was subject to the decision of order number 13, so we will go to order number 15 and defer this for another day.
Order number 15, motion. Consideration of report on the examination of financial statements for the National Humanitarian Fund.
Honorable Fatuma, Chairperson, Special Funds Account Committee.